is March 26th. It's a Wednesday. It's a nice gloomy day here in California. What was I thinking about today? You know what I was thinking about today? I was thinking about in elementary school. Do you guys remember they used to have like these sales events basically where I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but they gave us catalogs, right, of stuff. And if you sold things, if you got people to sign up and sell things, um, or you bought it yourself, or you got people to buy things, you would get points, right? And you would redeem the points to get like prizes. I don't know. I'm trying to remember exactly. It was like Weebles. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. I don't remember anymore, but I remember they had it a few times a year. I mean, they had it once a year or so. Like some organization would go to your school and they'll give you like a catalog. And if you like, let's say you sold a certain amount of stuff, you would win prizes. Like it would be like, oh, you get I don't know, you get I don't remember exactly what all the prizes were. Like it would be like, oh, if you sold this many things, you get a frisbee. If you sold this many, you get like a football, or this many, you get like another prize here. Or if you sold a lot, you can go into this money tornado. Like if you get if someone out there remind me what it was. But I remember when I was in elementary school, they had this a program at the school. It was like a fundraiser thing for the school. Like I'm pretty sure they get a cut of it. And I remember seeing this, and I remember one year I made a big effort that I was gonna sell a whole bunch of stuff. And it's like random things. If you guys remember, it's like chocolates, calendars, posters, um, other knickknacks and stuff. Like I was thinking, like, what company got this thing going? I don't know if it was a nationwide thing or just my particular school, but they had that. And I remember one year, I really, really wanted to win, get a like a bigger prize. So I got the catalog, and I started going door to door and trying to sell things, right? And I'm trying to remember exactly what age I was. Let's see. I was in third, fourth grade, fourth grade. No, sorry, third grade. This was third grade. And yeah, this is back when kids like just went out and about and just like, you went out and there was no real curfew. It was literally the sun started to come down and that's when you come back home, right? And so, and I lived in like a suburban area, so it's just houses on houses on houses. Right. So that's what I did for a few days straight. Basically, I remember going house to house, ringing doorbells, and trying to get people to order things from this catalog. And no, it's not one of those like I'm on a sports team and and I need you to get some chocolates bull crap. This was literally the whole school did it, or at least the whole grade did it. And I remember going door to door. And what was really cool is that, you never get to talk to your neighbors, right? And I just remember being in third grade, going door to door, and I got to see it was really cool. It was seeing like someone you knew that lived so close to you. So I got to from there I found out where all my friends lived. Or at least people that I knew lived around my neighborhood, which was very cool. And I remember I ran into this kid that I used to play with after school. Like he lived maybe like a good, maybe like 30, 40 houses down from where I was. That's how far. I went pretty far because I was going house to house to house trying to sell things, right? I'm trying to win. I'm trying to remember exactly what was in the prize catalog that I was trying to win. But I found this kid that I went to school with, and I'm trying to remember his name. I'll just call him Bruce. His name was Bruce. Okay. And his neighbor ordered something from me. I believe he ordered some chocolates, right? And then so I got to his neighbor, I ordered some chocolates, and then when I went to his house, I didn't know he lived there. I just rang the doorbell. He answered. He was like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" I'm like, oh, I'm going to door. I'm trying to, like sell the stuff that was in the catalog. Or your neighbor just ordered something from me. And then he was like, oh, that's cool. I can come with you. And so he went with me for a few houses. And like, again, this is back when kids just left their houses and went out and about. And then he went back to his house and I kept on going to dark. And I went back home. And I did this for like a few days, right? And my parents had no idea, literally, because I'm a latchkey kid. Literally, it was I went to school, I went home, opened the door myself, cooked myself lunch and dinner, and did all my homework. And then my parents came home around like 9 or something like that. So they had no idea. After I did my homework, that's what I did. I went out in the neighborhood and started selling stuff from this catalog. Well, you sell stuff and then after you're done, you fill all this information, right? And then you turn it into the school. And then maybe a few weeks would go by, right? Or months would go by. I think it was a few weeks. I forget. They would they would give you all the stuff at the school. From everyone that ordered stuff from you, they give you all the stuff at your school. And which is thinking back to it, I'm like, what company did this? Because literally they were just using kids as salespeople. Right? Imagine how much money they must have made. Now that I'm older, I'm thinking back, like that was crazy. We sold chocolates, calendars, all kinds of stuff. Anyways, so they give you all the stuff, right? And keep in mind, as I was saying, I did this for a few days and I went all over the place. And I was never a really good note taker in school. So I had a whole bag of stuff. I think I sold maybe $200 worth of stuff. And keep in mind, each thing was like 15 bucks, 20 bucks, around there. Like that was the price range, right? So I had $200 in total of sales. Each item was like, I remember it was like around $10 or so, upwards to like 30. I think 30 is like really high already. I was not a very good note taker. And I didn't remember where everyone's stuff went. So okay, I have like maybe like, I don't know, 15 different items. This is a long time ago. And I have no idea whose stuff is whose. But I had a general idea. So now it was time to deliver stuff. This was before Amazon, before shipping was really a thing. I had to hand deliver everything. I bet you if they did this program now, they would just mail the stuff directly to the customers. But they didn't do that. So now I had to figure out who ordered what and which house was it. And then that took me a few days. So literally I would go to someone's house and like I remembered all the houses, but I don't remember that I remembered all the houses that ordered stuff, but I don't remember what they ordered. So I would go to the houses now and I would have to like, did you order this? Did you order that? And I did that for a few days because I could have delivered everything in one day, but there was no way I could do it. So I did that for maybe 2, 3 days. And then on the last day of me delivering stuff, I ended up with one extra box of chocolates. Right. And it was like, I remember this too. It was like these caramel chocolates. And it was a hot day. And I had a box of caramel chocolates. And it's the last thing I have. I don't have any other things, but I don't remember what house it goes to or who ordered this. I had no idea who ordered this at all. So I'm looking at this box and I'm thinking to myself, I have no idea. Like, where does this go? And then so I'm walking around, I'm looking at all these different houses. I'm like, no, it's not that house. That house ordered this, that house ordered that. And I'm looking at this box now. I'm like, where does this go? And I convinced myself that maybe this company made a mistake, right? They made a mistake. They must have given me an extra box of chocolates because remember, they deliver the stuff to the school and then they just have the kid's name on it and they just give it out to the kids. So I'm thinking to myself, maybe this is somebody else's and they made a mistake, right? So I'm like, okay, then maybe they made a mistake. Maybe I just got a free box of caramel chocolates because I'm looking at my notes that I did have and nobody ordered a box of chocolates, right? So I'm like, okay, it's hot. I've been out walking. Remember, I cook my own food. I'm thinking to myself, I'm a little hungry. I'm just gonna eat this box of chocolates now. Because I'm like, they made a mistake. They gave me a free box of chocolates. I'm gonna eat it. So I'm sitting in the curb now and I open the box and I just start eating the caramel chocolates. And they're gross. Like they were gross. Right. And I'm like, ugh, whatever. And I just toss the box into the trash can and then I go home. And and that was it. I think nothing of it. I get whatever prize that I got for selling $200 worth of stuff from the catalog. Life was good. I thought I did great. I was like, oh, I rocked it, right? Weeks go by until one day, near the end of the school, I get a call to go into the principal's office. And I never get in trouble. I'm not saying I was a perfect kid. I'll just say I never get caught. You know what I mean? Where I never end up going to the principal's office. So I get sent to go to the principal's office, and I was really weirded out. Like, why do I need to go here? And then so he was telling me that they had an order, someone ordered something from me that didn't get it, and they were wondering, where is it? And so I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, it's that box of chocolates. And I'm like thinking to myself, well, how can they really prove that it was me? So I just double down and I go, oh, I have no idea. Maybe you have the wrong person. Cause and you know, like they could see my records and grades. Like I could see the principal as he's talking to me, looking up my records, and it shows that I'm a pretty decent. I'm like a kid that doesn't get in trouble. So he's weirded out too, because this just seems like something that a bad kid, like a kid that will get in trouble would do, like just lie. So I'm like, I double down. I'm like, oh, I don't know anything about anything, right? And then he's looking at my records, and then he goes, hey, but we have a witness. This kid says he saw you sell the thing. That's why we found you to call you in. And then I'm like, what kid? And then the principal makes another phone call, and it's freaking Bruce comes in. And Bruce said that I sold his neighbor something and I never delivered it. And the neighbor asked him because the neighbor saw me talk to him, and Bruce ratted me out. Anyways, my parents get involved. I go home. My dad takes me home or something, and then I ended up going into my piggy bank and just getting some money and refunding them. Now that I'm thinking back more into it, I find this whole thing very shady because the principal gets involved, and that was really weird. Like, I wonder if this is one of those back end deals that the principal made with the catalog company. Like, maybe he owns. Like, I wish I was older enough to understand exactly how that happened because it seems very weird now that I'm thinking about it. Anyways, I get mad at Bruce because Bruce ratted me out, and I remember confronting him on the playground and pushing him and just like getting real like aggro with him, like, hey, why did you do that? That was messed up. You know, there's a code, okay? You don't rat out people. And so that was that. But I think about that as we're going through the whole Signal, the Signal war plans thing. I don't know if you guys have heard, but apparently there was this big chat group and they messed up, right? And I'm thinking about that time because the defense right now is saying that everyone makes mistakes, right? And they messed up, right? So I'm like, well, that was the time that I messed up, but I learned not to do that again. What I found funny about this whole Signal thing uh, is that they said that, hey, we made a mistake, and like they're trying to spin it real hard, like it was a mistake, harmless mistake, and they're like, yeah, harmless mistake, but would you do it again? And there's some of them were like, yeah, we would. And I was like, what? That's crazy. That's crazy because I learned from my mistake to take better notes, because if I took better notes, that whole situation with the chocolates would not have happened. And so I thought that was really interesting. And I don't know why this whole Signal thing with the war plans, battle plans, whatever you're calling it, um, reminded me of this chocolate story. And I also find that that's pretty crazy that they were trying to bluff their way out of it. We're saying like, oh, there were no targets or weapons or whatever. Uh, but literally the next day, the Atlantic released like more stuff, and it looked so bad. And they were like, oh, it's that's crazy. Because I always feel like at some point you just gotta know that you're beat and just move on. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? So, well, how's your day going so far? That's what we want to know. Is it? I feel like someone needs to. Okay, you know who needs to? I think the guy's name is Matt Walsh. I don't pay close enough attention to know exactly what he does, but apparently it came out that it was his assistant or it was his office that added the guy from The Guardian. And I just feel like someone needs to. They need a fall guy. That's what they need. They need a fall guy and make this all go away. So I feel like someone has to take the blame for this because that's crazy. That's so crazy. Yeah, let me know if you guys have followed this story at all, because I feel like this whole Signal chat thing, group chat story is very funny. And later on, I'm pretty sure someone's gonna come up with a really good take on it. As I like think about more about it, I'll try to find something funny about it because overall it's pretty funny because the defense itself that Pete Hegseth and all those guys are coming up with are so funny. Or even just like the spin doctors are coming out there and their defense is funny. They're like saying like, "Oh, if you get added to a group chat that you don't belong to, you should just excuse yourself." But I'm like, as a common folk guy, I'm thinking to myself, if you get added to a highly sensitive chat room, wouldn't you want to linger on? I don't know. Let me know if you got added to some random chat room that was leaking out sensitive stuff. Would you linger in there? Like, okay, think about it. Of all the people, he's a journalist. Let's spin it a different way, I guess. If you got added to a chat room, right, that was leaking, let's say, interesting pictures of ladies, right? I'm just saying. Now, like you got added to a chat room between like a bunch of ladies and they're just sending each other like interesting pictures, right? Would you excuse yourself from that chat room or would you just linger in there? It's kind of like the same idea, right? Because it's like he's a journalist. This is kind of something that he kind of covers and he gets added into a room with some very interesting stuff to him that's very interesting, right? It's almost the same idea. Would you excuse yourself? Now, in my scenario, if you get added to a random chat room with some ladies and they're sending each other like interesting pictures, and they had no idea that you were in there, would you excuse yourself? Right? Most likely, no, you're not. You're just gonna linger in there and see what you can get because they didn't notice that he was even in there until later, and he was like, "Hey, I'm in your chat room." Anyways, that's all I'm thinking about today. I'm gonna look more into this whole Signal chat thing because it's hilarious to me. Let me know later on what you guys think. See you later.